Now we're going to move to a part of the show that really is my very favorite part of the show. Because I get to take you back home to my hometown of Yucaipa. As many of you probably know, that's where I grew up. And tonight, even though she's here in the audience, my dad couldn't make it, and so I want you to go home to Yucaipa with me to meet my parents, Wally and Susan Anton, who incidentally will be celebrating their 34th anniversary this June. And my mom is the third of four sisters, and my daddy is a sergeant with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. And we thought it would be more candid, they would be more candid, if they weren't interviewed by me, but by someone from our show. So we sent Mal Sharp up to Oak Glen, and here's the interview that he had with my mom.
What was the first beauty pageant where Susan was judged on talent as well as beauty?
That was in the Miss Redlands pageant. And when I found out that Susie was going to enter the Miss Redlands pageant, I said to her, well, honey, what are you going to do for talent? You have to have talent in that pageant. And she said, I know it. And I said, well, what are you going to do? And she says, well, I'm going to sing. I said, but you can't sing. She says, well, you got to do something. And so she did. And when we went to the pageant that night and Susan sang, both my husband and I nearly fell out of our chairs because there was our girl up there, obviously very talented singing.
And who are you?
I'm Susan's daddy.
Oh, you're putting me on. Come on.
For years, I was known as Blackie's son-in-law. Then all of a sudden, I became Susan's daddy. I don't know what happened in between there.
Now, how long have you been on the police force?
21 years this June.
That's incredible. Now, you must have really terrified Susan's boyfriends. What was that all about?
Well, we had, as parents, a real distinct advantage of them because I could check up and find out who the good guys were and who the bad guys were.
When you say check up on them, how would you check up on them? A kid asked your daughter out, right?
Yeah, well, I knew if he'd been in trouble. I knew, it's like Susan grew up with 10 to 15 godfathers here because when she would go out someplace in town, there was always a patrol car around. We knew where the kids would go park and where they could go get their beer and all this jazz. So we, had that little advantage of it. Sometimes it worked as a disadvantage for Susan because they wouldn't tell her things either.
She probably had to go to Redlands to get a kiss goodnight.
No, we work real close with Redlands PD.
You know, when people become celebrities, and Susan certainly is a celebrity now, often they name sandwiches after them, you know? And here in Yucaipa, if they named a sandwich after Susan, you know, what do you think the sandwich would be?
Well, if they named a sandwich after Susan up here in Oak Glen, the only thing I can say I know for sure is that it would have to have a lot of ham in it.
I am your child.